What's up, everybody? Welcome to podcast now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk a little bit about FBC Firebreak, give you guys my impressions, and ultimately, I feel my verdict. I mean, look, when it comes to these type of things, you can look at my other videos. I really try to take pride in playing a game a long period of time, beating games when they can be beaten, right? To really, solidify an opinion on a game. For this is going to be a little bit different because this is a game I didn't play too much of. I played just under 3 hours of it, and I feel like I have a feeling in my heart, in my brain, in all the body parts that would have feelings on this game. And although, I haven't played it 30 hours, I didn't technically beat, say, everything that there is to do in the game, I still feel like I can make a determination on the game, and I'll give it to you very early, and then we'll go into the details on this game. I sadly just don't think it's worth it. And I do say sadly because here's the deal. You can go back, you can check me on this, all the videos I've done previously. I wanted to give this game a chance in the lens of what it was. Okay, now it's Remedy, but I'm not really taking that into consideration because I actually feel like that hurts this game 10 times worse. If you go in and you say, oh, this is Max Payne developers, okay, number one, that's a little bit older. Let's say, all right, they just made Alan Wake 2. They made Control. I know that game, right? It's like, okay, if you're going in with that mindset, you are taking away next to nothing from this game. The only things you're taking away when you go into a mission and the print of what the mission name is in huge, very bold white letters, very Alan Wake. Love it. Love it. I mean, there's actually a lot of aesthetic in this game that's very cool. Some of the levels where you got the people kind of floating in thin air and just the environment, how some of the stuff looks, very, very cool. The issue is it's 5 levels and it's you take it in 30 seconds and then you're done. Whereas Alan Wake or Control, it's like a 15-hour game. You're going through all of these areas that look like that. In this, you're going through 5 areas. Okay, so it's a pro and con even with the best pro of this game. So, okay, going back to what I was saying, if you go in with the Alan Wake Control thing, I think you're really going to be very disappointed, way more disappointed than even I am with this game because that's just not what it is. I was going in thinking, all right, this is their attempt at, it's a live service game. Let's just call it for what it is. They want to try this, first person, almost like Extraction. You go in, you do some objectives, and you leave, right? So the shooter type thing. And it's not what they're good at. It's not what they've ever done. But let's give it a try. And that is sincerely the mindset I had from the beginning. It looked weird at the beginning, but it actually did. I warmed up to it through all of the times that they showed it. It looked pretty cool. And I said, all right, I'll give it to them. And then I go in. The game just doesn't have it. It doesn't have, so I'm going in trying to give it what it needs to be given, okay? This is a first-person shooter. It's an objective-based thing. It's just, now I played a lot of these levels because I want to go into one fundamental issue I found right away. I went into these levels, I played it on normal. Now I will say, I think 3 people playing on the 2 hardest difficulties would be rather fun. It would at least be fun the first time. I feel like a big fundamental issue is just it's not good enough where you'd want to repeat. You don't want to do it over and over again. Okay, once you've experienced it once, you don't really want to do it a second time. The issue that I found, okay, I have friends and one friend wanted to play it. So I went in, I created a party with him. The issue I found is if you create a party, you cannot matchmake to find that third person. And I don't know why that happens. That seems 10 years outdated. I truly, I was complaining out loud to my friend. He probably was telling me to shut up in his head, but I was like, why is the game like this? Why can't we? So we had to play 2 people because we could not get a third person unless it was another person from a friend group. If you have a friend, but then you're waiting for a third person, you can't matchmake to find that person. So we played, and all the footage you're going to see is the 2 of us. Now, still can be, here's the thing. It was at least a little fun because you have a friend. If you're playing this game alone and then you're matchmaking, number one, do not play this game by yourself. Okay, if you play just you and then you go into the missions, God bless you, and I think you made a terrible choice. Okay, don't do that. I would suggest trying to play with people, and again, maybe if you're playing with 3 and you're playing on harder difficulties, because it can get insane, and when it gets insane, it's fine. I guess, again, pro con. I can see it being more fun, but at the same time, The enemies, they're not really intimidating. They're kind of weird. Like, I'm not a big fan of the AI. I don't think they're all that smart. They kind of just group up at you, like in one big grouping. I mean, we found ourselves like in the shower, and there's just like 30 of them directly in front of us. And it's like, there's no real strategy. And I think I said out loud to him, and I want to say it to you guys too, because I think it kind of conveys my thoughts. It's not really fun when that happens. It's just pointing and shooting. Does that make sense? Like, when a bunch of enemies, even though they're like, it's like an onslaught, right? They're just attacking you. When you're just kind of like opening fire and there's like 20 enemies in front of you and you can't really see, it doesn't really matter what you're doing. Nothing really matters. Is it really all that fun? And I mean, my answer is actually no. I actually don't think it's all that fun when they're just all there and there's just nothing really interesting about them. So, that was my main takeaway, even when there was a lot of enemies. Also, the enemy placement I found to be atrocious. I think the pacing of this game is, well, actually a couple different things. So, number one, it's a game with objectives, but it's kind of like a single-player game. So what I mean by that, all right? When you go into these maps, you'll have to do, say, 4 things. They don't give you all 4 markers. They'll give you 1. They'll say, okay, go to this place, do this thing, then go to the other place and do the exact same thing. Because in the top left, it'll say, okay, do 4 of this, do 6 of this, right? But they don't give you all 6. You actually have to go to the first, do it, then they unlock the second, then you go to the second, you do that, then they go to the third. Doesn't that sound, and I mean, this, again, I was venting out loud when playing this game. That, to me, feels like a single-player game. I mean, I feel like when you're in a okay, think, and it's not the same thing, but say, think Dead by Daylight, right? You have all these generators. You have to do, 4 or 5. Do you go around and, like, it's not that you have to pick one and all of the rest are locked until you do that one. Then number 2 is unlocked, but it's a specific one. It's not any random one. It's a specific one. Does that make any sense to you? That doesn't feel like there's kind of almost an illusion of choice in a lot of these multiplayer, like, objective type things, because you can kind of pick which one you want to do, especially because it's supposed to be 3 of you. You're supposed to face these enemies. You're supposed to go out and do things, and they don't give you that choice. I mentioned the enemy placement. There'll be times where you're going through the level and there's no enemies. Now, yes, I was playing on normal, and I'm sure it changes depending on the level, but still the enemies do spawn, okay, even for me, like on my level. And what I found is just, it was very like all over the place. Like, you would be going for 1, 2, 3 minutes and there'd be no enemies. It's completely quiet. It's completely empty. You're just looking around for the objective. And then they'll spawn 50 enemies. They'll ambush you. Again, it's not really all that fun. You kill them all, and then it's just empty again. And then they'll do it again, on and off, on and off. And it just, like, don't you think there should always be some of them? Or, like, just the pacing of it, I felt was off, in terms of how they would spawn enemies and send them at you. Now, I will say, the objectives are diverse. Like, there are 5 levels. And again, I mean, I keep saying it, so sorry I sound like a broken record. Pro, con, pro, con. So number 1, all 5 levels have kind of a unique thing about it, whether it is like the visual look. I mean, the visual look oftentimes ties in with the objective, okay? So you'll have like that notepad one, that's like the entire level. So those notes, those sticky notes, aren't in the other ones, right? Which really, it differentiates it. So I would definitely give them credit there. Now, the issue is you have like the clearance zones, right? You have like stages 1, 2, and 3. So you have to play the first one first. Again, with this, like, do this thing first, then you can do that. So you have 5 levels. Each level has 3 areas, right, which kind of build. You've got to play each level once playing level 1. Then you have to play each level 1 and 2. Then you can play the level 1, 2, 3. So again, I mean, like, if you're looking for a longer experience, first you have to play the first one and then the first and second one before you get to longer experience. So they trap you actually in shorter matches first for some reason. Number 2, it's still the same thing. So, like, I mean, yes, it'll, like, if you go to stage 3, it becomes something a little bit bigger, like bosses and stuff. But, generally, say the sticky note thing, right? First stage, you destroy sticky notes. Second stage, You destroy more sticky notes. The number of sticky notes has increased. Now, there's new enemies introduced in stage 2. So it's like, okay, it tries to shake it up, but the general objective is the same. So, I don't know. Here's my takeaway. Because I didn't even talk about like the guns and like number one, there's not a lot of guns. There's not a lot of things. I mentioned that in the beginning. When you're going into an area, there's just like your loadout is not full. You would have to play this game an incredible amount of times to unlock all of those perks. But when it comes to like your general loadout of weapons and stuff, it's just not enough. Okay, no, that's number one. Number two, I feel like my main takeaway with this game is you play all of these things once. And granted, yeah, I can play, say, the level 1 like clearance of the sticky note one. Then I could play level 1 and 2. But I don't think I would ever play, say, level 1 and 2 ever again. They designed it. They said this, okay? They designed it like that so that you can have an option of shorter or longer matches. And that's fine. Like, I can respect that. And they talked a lot about that and a lot about that kind of philosophy of, like, what type of game this is. The issue, okay? You can be honest. You can be open. And I respect that. I respect the way they talked about this game leading in. It still has to be a good game. It just is a hollow game. It's a game that once you do it a couple times, you've seen all there is to see in this game within like half an hour. Even if you didn't play all the jobs, you've seen what this game has to offer. It's fine. Like, the gunplay is fine. It's not amazing. It's not even good. It's fine. The levels are fine. They're cool to look at for the first couple minutes. Then they're not. Then they're just what they are. The enemies, they're actually not really all that fine. Okay, like, it's an okay game. And I mean, like, I saw the review scores giving it 6s and stuff. I feel like, I don't give scores, okay? But like, if an average is a 5, I think it probably falls around, like, it's literally an average experience. Like, you don't get anything radically cool or different or above average. Here's the thing. It's on Game Pass. It's on PS Plus. You only lose time, right? If you play it and you don't like it, you just lost time. You didn't lose money. I did it on PS Plus, and it just didn't stick. We played it a while, and then both of us, my friend and I actually had him go first. He said, I'm good if you're good. And I said, yep, I'm ready to get off. Like, I was waiting, I didn't want to be mean. I was waiting for him to say it to me. And that's kind of how you feel, where it's like, yeah, I'll play it, I guess, like with a person I'll play it. But then after a little while, it's like, all right, well, maybe I'll play something else, because it's just like you can't play this all that long, and there's not a lot of reason to go back into it, to be quite honest with you. So, and that is disappointing. I thought, maybe it could be a little bit more than that. I mean, this is something very different. This is... And I'm going to say it one more time, because I want to get this across. Like, I respect them. Even if, say, like, they were watching, I respect Remedy so freaking much, okay? Like, Alan Wake 2 is my game of the year. I love their style. I love, like, the way they make games. This is not it. This is not their style. And I don't know why they decided to do this. I don't know why they went into the, a general live service type direction with this game. I know they were definitely more open with it and honest with it than most games. I think they were trying to level with people, because they knew that this isn't a Remedy game. And it's like, all right, I can respect that. At the same time, you still made the game, and you're still expecting us to play it. So again, it circles back to, it's like, yeah, I can have as much respect and like care and love for Remedy as I possibly can, and I can appreciate what they've said, but you're still asking me to play a game. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, if the game's just not interesting and it's just not, there's nothing there that really can carry this game. This game, I looked on like Steam, it's dying already. It's dying after a day. So like, I don't even see a player base here after, I mean, we got a big week. You got Rematch coming out, right? And then you got Death Stranding next week, and it's the summer. People, less people play games generally in the summer. It's like, I don't think this game's going to make it till August, to be honest with you. Like, I really think by the time they do these updates in the fall and winter, I don't think there's going to be a player base here anymore. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure, as always, you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.